Hey, so let's introduce Kevin. Kevin has had one of those careers that spans almost every level of football. He played at Westchester, which is a college in Pennsylvania, was a successful head coach at Lehigh, winning four Patriot League championships. I
Oh,
did
nice.
see him play UMass at UMass, and they lost, but that happens. Coach the quarterbacks and wide receivers for the Detroit Lions, spent 9 seasons as the head coach at the Citadel, helped Wake Forest become one of the ACC's most successful offensive teams, and is currently with Appalachian State as chief of staff, pass game specialist. And Kevin, I got to ask you this. We've all done some coaching since high school, probably with our kids or high schools or whatever. You have coached high school, college, and the NFL. Let me ask you, where were the parents the hardest to coach?
Ooh. Well, the NFL, they don't exist, so you're not worrying about that at all. Back when I coached high school, of course, was in the late 70s. So parents, and we had the coaching staff that really didn't allow parents to get involved like they would today. So I would say to you, Musk, if I was coaching in high school now, it would be much different because I hear the stories of parents. But back in the day when we had Woods and Ennis and Henderson, parents really weren't getting involved that much. And in college, it's really not. The kids understand that it's about their performance and those types of things. And, if a parent calls, you'll pay due respect, but you're not going to get too involved with that.
And in college, they're getting paid basically. I mean, that these days anyway.
Oh, some colleges, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even if it's a scholarship, it's some sort of a payment to get you going. I know Phil has an interesting way of handling parents when it comes to coaching wrestling kids. Phil, why don't you?
As do I.
I just don't include them. Even I don't even let them watch practice. I kick them out of the room and lock the door. And then if we go to a tournament or a match, they go, "Where are we sitting?" I say, "Over there." And then I tell the kids, "Follow me," and we go the opposite direction. And I really I, I haven't coached since probably like 17, but I still have parents that I'm good friends with that were on the team, and they just say it was a great experience.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I just said, let me handle this and just go sit down. I said, there's
Yep.
nothing you're going to say, that's going to change the outcome.
Yep.
I'll share one funny story about that. We were at the Cardigan tournament, and Kyle Hager, you guys would know him. His dad says to me, the kid is in the finals. He's in 6th grade, and the tournament goes up to 9th grade. He's in the finals. And his dad says, "Could you go talk to Kyle? He's so uptight, you couldn't drag a greased nail out of his butt with a tractor." He says, "That's how uptight my kid is." I went up to the kid and said, "Your dad thinks you're a little uptight." He looked at me, he goes, "Coach, did you not prepare me for today? Am I not ready for this?" And the kid ended up winning the championship, and we just looked at his dad and laughed and go, "That was it."
Yep.
That's from probably 1995, and it sticks with
Yep.
me all the time. Parents at youth wrestling are crazy.
Yep. I told the parents in lacrosse, if you're going to sit in the stands and yell, come on out on the field. Either that or
Yeah.
keep your mouth closed.
Yeah, yeah,
That's how it went.
yeah.
So
And they
Kevin,
did.
you have this spot on your face, and I got to ask you, is that from a bar fight? What is
No, you know me. I haven't drank in 40 years, so it's not from a bar fight.
Hey, here's what I want to know, okay? So we're getting prepared for this. And first of all, I see Musk all over the internet, social media. He's got those podcasts going. I'm like, this is incredible. I know this guy. He's got the podcast. So we're getting ready for it, and I get this invite. It says, hey, 11 o'clock, no, it says like
Pacific.
2 o'clock Pacific time.
Well, he's a little behind.
I'm saying, wait, maybe he thinks I'm in California or something. I have no idea, And I'm like, he's got this significant podcast. How is he doing it? Okay, that's number one. I said, okay, no big deal. We're good. And then he lists a couple of guys on it, and he spells your name wrong.
Spells my name wrong. See that?
Say,
Yeah.
I went to school with Mooney for 8 years in grammar school, 4 in high school, and by second grade, there's no way I'm letting anybody spell his name wrong. We know each other's name. So that was the second thing. And then I'm like, okay, something's going to get screwed up on the Zoom, so I got to get his cell phone. Twice, Mooney, I say, Musk, I need your cell phone. I don't work through Facebook and trying to get I'm going to miss it. I'm nervous.
Me
So
either.
I get no cell phone from him. So I'm saying, okay, well, and then I'm saying, well, it all makes sense. Our senior year, Mrs. Hatton English class, and Musk was just, I'm saying to myself, okay, if Musk would have just paid attention a little bit, we wouldn't have Pacific time. I'd have a cell phone number. And Mullins' name isn't spelled wrong. Like, we could have solved all this.
You,
This is
you,
what happened.
you are asking a lot.
Yeah. I'm doing a lot here. You gotta understand, building a website, doing that, squeezing in the podcast is a tough thing
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. He's been very busy boy. Hey, Kev. I talked to Joe Davy yesterday before I forget, and he asked
Yes.
me how your brother Brendan's doing.
Oh, good. Yeah, Brendan is doing real well. He's still in Iowa. He's been there probably 20 years.
Great.
He's like teaching phys ed at a
Get out of
private
here,
school.
really?
Yeah, he's at a private school there, plays tennis, works out. He's still like, yeah, like Brendan is still Brendan, though, If you
Okay.
say don't go there, he's going to go there. If you say do this, he's going to do that. Like
That's because he was from Frogtown.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Musk doesn't know a lot.
I haven't heard that in years. Oh my God.
Musk doesn't know a lot. He knows some. Phil doesn't know about Frogtown, but Frogtown had an elite group of people: the Lockmans, the Mullins, the Collins.
Davies.
Davies.
Yeah.
It was
Yep,
an
yep.
incredible group. It was a different part of the town than everybody else.
Kev, you would I don't know the down by the pistol range is all built up. It's not like it was.
Yeah. So my sister bought our whole house on Palisade Avenue.
Yep.
So
Wow.
I'll get
Yep.
back once a year, and I've been back there. Just memories, It's
Yeah.
just
Yep.
oh man.
Richard is
There in the summers. Oh my God.
still in my folks' house, and his wife.
Is that right?
Yep, down on Aricchio. Yep.
Right. I still have. I was just thinking about this the other day. Going back to the reservoir. It was 98 degrees like it is today. Going swimming in the reservoir, and all of a sudden, a cop comes up behind, and he says, "Boys, you're under arrest." So myself and I forget who was with us, 2 other guys, they bring us down to the police station, call up mom. Mom comes down and has to get us out of the police station. And she didn't. The good thing is she didn't bring her belt with her that time. Like I remember, what do we call it at the library at the end of Palisades? That was where we hung out, the teen center. Yeah, remember they
Yeah,
started
Teen
the teen
Center.
center.
Yeah.
I have a vivid memory of being late one night and mom coming down with the belt and like chasing me down Palisade Avenue with the belt in the hand. Like my kids have no idea what I'm talking about when I say
You got that right. But it was fun, like you said. It was fun.
Question.
It was fun.
Really,
The-
just having the woods back there behind our high school.
Was-
The adventures and you'd spend a day and you'd build a fort and
Yep.
so much fun.
Yep. They could never catch us. We had holes under the fence. We had holes in the fence. We had
Right.
holes everywhere. So, Kev, let me ask you this: what was your favorite part of your career to coach?
Yeah, great question. I remember being in. I coached after Westchester. Went back to Emerson, coached for 2 years, and I'll never forget. I'm sitting at home, still living at home. I'm saying, I got to get out of Emerson. I can't stay here the rest of my life. And the Newark Star Ledger, I opened up one Sunday morning and there was an ad in the paper. It said head football, basketball, baseball coach wanted at North Warren Regional High School in Blairstown, New Jersey.
That's out by me. That's out by where I live.
I said, that's it. That's where I'm going. Long story short, I ended up getting that job. And it was just, I was out of Emerson for the first time. I was the head high school coach. And, you know, it's funny because you become like the people that you were around, you know, and immediately it was all the language of Coach Ennis and the coaches that we had in high school. Matter of
Hmm.
fact, you guys will appreciate this. I got a text from a kid that I had in high school that was like in my health class. Okay, he said, "Hey, coach, I've been following you." He said, "Do you remember when you used to yell at me? You called me lad, and no one's ever called me lad before." But you did, and somebody said it the other day, and I thought about you. You know,
There you go.
that
Yep.
was Coach Ennis, and you know, lad,
Yep.
come over here. And when he said lad, you knew you were in trouble.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's true.
long getting away and getting my own start and getting a head job was really, you know, was really neat just to get
Yeah.
started. And
Yep.
then always wanted to be a college coach. And you know, the first job going to Gettysburg College was really neat. So getting to Gettysburg College and being a Division III coach and kind of getting, you know, to an area, Pennsylvania, you know, was really neat. But probably to answer the question, when I got the head job at Lehigh University, that was special. You know, the kids
Yeah.
were kind of in the formative years. My son Tim could come over to practice and hang out. The
Hmm.
kids got involved with players coming over to the house, and it was just a great academic school. And
Yep.
then, you know, having success obviously always helps. So that was fun.
Four
Detroit Lions.
championships. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that they were good days. The Detroit Lions was really fun because when the Eagles had their training camp at Lehigh, so John Gruden was the offensive coordinator. So during camp, I used to stay with him for like 2 weeks, and then I got the bug. Boy, wouldn't it be really neat if you could be an NFL coach? Never thinking you could. Long story short, I got a chance to go to Detroit, and then Detroit. Those 4 years was like, you know, you're not worrying about recruiting. You're not worried about discipline. Everybody else handle it, but it's like getting your doctorate in football. So all you're doing
Hmm.
is football all day, every day. So that was different, but it was a lot of fun. You know, it was a
How
lot
long
of
were you
fun.
there for? How long were you at Detroit?
Yeah, 4 years. That was 2001 through four. Yeah.
And who was the head coach at the time there?
Yeah, it was Steve Mariucci, the
Right.
second, with the third and fourth year, and Marty Morningweg was year 1 and 2. He came from the 49ers, as did Mooch. So I was with Marty Morningweg and Mariucci during that time period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Living wise, when I was at the Citadel, we lived in Charleston, and that was the most beautiful town with the beaches, and the area was just, oh,
My
I mean,
wife was
that was
down there this year looking it over.
Is that right? Yeah, that is a great. It's just so crowded now, but that really was a great place, and it
Well,
really. And then the 11 years at Wake Forest, the relationships that we had were probably the strongest there with players. So that was special.
so
Also,
you're in the mountains now, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
right,
beautiful country up there.
yeah, it is. It's different for sure. So we actually sold our place in Winston-Salem, where Wake Forest is. We're renting up in Boone, where App State is, and I'm in Bethany Beach now, Delaware. We bought a place, a townhome in Bethany Beach. So
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
here
wow.
now, vacation, and
Yep.
I got to do one more season at App State, and then I'll be coming here full time in January. So that's the
You're
plan.
retiring in January then.
Well, here's what I'm going to do, Musk. I've
Started a podcast. Go on. What are you going to do?
I talked to 3 high school coaches already, so I'm actually going to help out with a high school in the area here.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
Great.
yeah, so that'll be fun. Just want to stay in it and be around kids and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
Bethany Beach is a neat place. It's you know, obviously it's, you know, growing up we always went to Long Beach Island, Beach Haven, right? And I'll
Yep. Yep.
never, as a kid, you cross the causeway and you smell it and you're like, oh, those were the best of
Yeah.
years, you know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I
Yep.
remember always saying, if we never get back to the beach, that's the goal. So now we're 5 miles from the beach, and hopefully, Lord willing,
Good
good
deal.
times ahead. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
By
that
the beach.
hopefully. Yep.
Phil, you go to the beach like every day, don't you?
I now and then, twice a day. I'm
Twice.
There
I'm
you
that
go.
close. It's like 20 minutes, not even. No
Except when
traffic.
the heat hits.
The
Yeah.
problem with the ocean down here, it was 78 degrees the other day. So you jump in, you get out. It's warmer in the ocean than it is on the beach. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel good.
And that's why the sharks are coming.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I was by Cherry Grove Pier the other day, and the next day there was a 12-foot shark swimming around. They had on a
Oh
video
my
right where I
God.
was swimming. So
Yeah.
and I know at some point in my life I'm going to get eaten by a shark. This goes back to being a little boy. I'm serious. I'm terrified.
So Higgs, every coach has one speech that completely bombed. What was yours? Do you have one?
Ooh, a speech that bombed. Gosh, I've never. That's a great. That is a great question.
Maybe you saw someone else do one that bombed.
Yeah. I'll never forget when I was at won't name it, but just being at Gettysburg College, and there was a coach that shared about like we're going to get fired, trying to get the kids inspired to play by talking about getting fired, and that's to
Oh,
me
it's, negative.
it's the worst thing that you can do, and you can almost see it in the eyes of the kids because they get it. They're like, okay, we really don't want to hear this, and this really isn't doing what it should be doing from a motivational standpoint.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So
It's a negative. They don't want to hear that.
yeah,
They want to hear something positive to get them going. That's
yes,
that's what it's
exactly
all
right.
about. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah,
Phil has had some speeches that worked for him and bombed for him as well.
Yep.
And
I remember.
the
Go
bottom
ahead.
line is right. I mean, it's all about the relationships that you have with the kids, and the more invested you are, the more they're going to perform for you or the program or the
Sure.
school. And
Yep.
True.
that's the challenge, is right. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
developing those relationships and making them deep.
Yeah.
So
And the attitudes are contagious.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yes.
It's called leadership, right? Trying to get guys going. They show you lead them. When you coached the Lions, was there ever a moment where you thought, only in the NFL?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? So I remember getting there, and we had a receiver named Zahir Akeem. He was part of the greatest show on turf with the Rams, if you remember that
Yep.
went to the Super Bowl. So we ended up picking up Zahir, and he's going to be a receiver for me. And long story short, somebody like screwed up going to the airport to pick up us. So long, he's at the airport, nobody picked him up, and it is like a complete mess. And I'm saying, wait a minute, this is the NFL. Like, how does this stuff happening? I'm just finished high school and college, and everything is boom, boom, boom. You're organized, you feel good about it. And now we can't get lined up in the NFL. It was like, this is incredible.
What was your biggest recruit? What was your best recruit?
Good question. So so at Lehigh, got this. It may not have been the best, but perhaps he could have been a kid named Rabi Abdullah from Roselle, New Jersey, and I'll never forget watching Rabi. Rabi would have been in high school. He would have graduated Roselle like 90, 94, 95, no, 95, 90, 95-ish. So I'm watching this film, and he's playing on like a dirt field in Roselle. And he's like the backup running back, like he's alternating with another guy. I'm saying, gosh, this guy is raw. He's talented. How aren't bigger schools recruiting him? So I go visit with him, and you can tell that he's got some things missing. Then I watch him play basketball, and he goes down the court, and he just does this like one hand tomahawk dunk, and he's just doing this all that. I'm saying, okay, I got to get this guy. So it came down to us and Lafayette, and we ended up getting him, and he had like an incredible career. Got drafted. He was on the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay Bucks, and then ended up getting with the Patriots when they won the championship.
Oh,
So he
wow.
got a couple of Super Bowl rings and was, he's in the record books at Lehigh. But it
Impressive.
was neat because he really was a guy like today he would be at Maryland or, somewhere like that. But finding that kind of guy. And then another guy, the quarterback we had there, Phil Stambaugh, was a great wrestler in the Lehigh Valley. His dad wrestled at East Stroudsburg. And so we recruited Phil, and he we tried to make him a linebacker after his freshman year. And then he proved us all wrong, became like a great quarterback. He won all the championships and is in the record books. It was fun when you can kind of discover, or you get to see guys, work into the role that they have and that they become. That's really neat.
So
Well, a lot of times in college, when they come out of college, the pros turn them into something else anyway, right?
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Wake Forest, I had a good little slot named Greg Dortch. He's still playing with the Arizona Cardinals, although for the last 4 years he was there. Now he's with Detroit, though. His contract came up. But Greg was a 5'7" little slot that we had in camp. And we didn't offer him camp because of his size. And then he only had like Division I AA offers. Long story short, we went back because he was so quick, offered him, had a great career, broke a bunch of records, and he's still in the league right now, which is nice.
pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah. Some of them small guys are the toughest.
Yeah, that's
As everybody, we all proved it, right?
If you could coach one season using 73 football rules, 1973,
Oh my God.
with today's athletes, what would happen, Kevin?
Be arrested.
I mean, the rules were totally different back then.
Yeah. And so much of it, not only the rules, of course, hitting the quarterback has changed so much, how they're protected, for good reason. But it's just the way you handle people, like everything else in society, right? We all got to watch the words that come out of our mouths, how we treat people. And, we all have those memories of a coach grabbing the face mask and just, hands rocking up and down. We have those memories. Those are the biggest things, I think that have changed, just the handling of guys.
I remember freshman year when you guys were all playing football for Ennis, and he came up to me. He's like, "You're playing football." And I know Woods wanted me to coach, and I said, "Coach, he wants me to play." He goes, "You weigh 85 pounds." He goes, "If you go play football, I'm gonna break your leg."
Great times, though, but the seasons were excellent. I really enjoyed myself.
No, we had a great time, and we were all so fortunate in that we came from a smaller town. Athletics was really important, and we had really, really good coaches that invested in us.
Yeah.
And I remember going to North Warren and just saying, "Wow, these are like 20 years behind the times here."
Yeah.
I go to the very first day of practice when I go to Blairstown. This is in '79. I go out in the field and there's no footballs. I'm like, "Where's the footballs?" "Oh, we left them in the locker room." I said, "But wait, practice is starting in 10 minutes. No footballs, And then another coach comes out, he's got no shoes on. I'm like, "Wait a minute. I just leave in Emerson High School. We got a coach not wearing shoes." I'm like, "Dang, this is different." It was like, I didn't know the rest of the world was like that.
It's farm country.
Here's a question. What do you think about Emerson not having football now? I'm shocked.
Oh, it just kills me.
I think with
Cresco now.
kind of like with wrestling there with Park Ridge or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
It's just not enough kids around these days, I guess.
I think for all of us, you look back and you think about your high school experience, and all of a sudden there's no longer the sport that meant so much to so many people.
Yeah.
And it's just sad. But again, I don't know the dynamics of it and the numbers and all that stuff,
Look, we had 165 or so in our class.
Right.
My nephew Sean, Richard's son, had 62.
Is that right?
62.
62.
62
That's
in his class.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, I've had bigger barbecues than that.
I remember the days when you'd play Westwood and there'd be a fight outside the locker.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or you go up to Park Ridge and you see Joe Galino running on Thanksgiving Day, you know, those kind of things.
yeah,
Those are the days that made my.
We wrestled you guys. Like Woods would have everyone in the coach's room. There'd be enough room to walk in and step on the scale, and you're naked in front of like 40 people, and then Kane would pay you back when you guys came back.
the buzz, the buzzard.
You remember that? I think
Kane.
Kane slipped. Holtzman landed on his butt and he blacked out, and the dad
Yep,
went on
yep.
the mat and gave everybody the finger.
I think that's.
His neck.
I think that. Yeah, I think that's when Lorraine Papalato came down on the mat. They made everybody go out.
Yeah, and I was next, and I had your buddy do it. He was going to kick my ass and walk on my jacket. I was next up for that one. Yeah.
Hey,
That
Phil,
was-
is that who you wrestled? Did you against Kenny?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How many years did you go against Emerson? Do you remember?
3.
3.
But in fact, I only lost one dual meet in high school, and it was to class down.
Oh, Carl. Yeah, Carl was a beast. Yeah.
4 to 3.
Is that right?
That's the only dual meet I lost in high school.
Right.
I did not know that.
In fact, I was on the board as an all-time leader of the things, but I didn't have enough matches because we only had 15, 12, 14 matches. We had 14.
They put me in the high school Hall of Fame for wrestling, and I was 46 and 16 over 3 years.
Yeah.
That was including tournaments.
Yeah.
I was like, these kids are wrestling 300 matches a year.
Yeah.
Crazy.
By the way, Kevin, Phil's son was quite a wrestler.
Is that right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he did well. He
Where
wrestled
did
at
he wrestle?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Ooh, yeah. Good
Yeah.
school. Yep. Yeah.
What has the game taught you about life, Kevin, that has nothing to do with football?
Yeah. Well, number one, adversity, right? In life, and all of us, everybody here has a story of things you're going through, somebody in your family's going through, right? And you got to deal with that every day. You got to get up and you got to step up and deal. And we learn that through athletics. And it's the same thing. I just looked at our schedule for fall camp, and I'm going to give a talk on August, 18th to the team. I'm thinking about the things that I'm going to say, and I heard something just on Sunday, just about, recognizing your failures, your your shortcomings, and dealing with that, and not running away from it, and just stepping up. And we learned all that in athletics. I mean, those were the
Absolutely.
lessons: handling adversity, coming back, and you're not going to be giving anything. You got to go work for it. There's no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees we're going to win our first game against Maine, but we go out thinking, believing that we're going to,
Mhm.
I
Yep.
think that's the big thing. And then the other thing is just one of the phrases that we use is just confronting the brutal facts of reality, and just like kids don't want to hear the brutal facts, like, guys, this is where we're at. This is where you're at in your life. Like, we want to help you. We're not just trying to disparage you. But you gotta admit it. You gotta confront these things,
Mhm.
believing that you're going to get better and do it. And that was, if you read the book Good to Great, talked about companies that started out as average, became great. What did they have in common? And it was this General Stockdale that was in the Vietnam War. And he told a story of, he landed in Vietnam. His plane was disheveled. They put him in Hanoi. So it was him and like 8 of his guys that were with him. And he tells the story of how they survived. He came up with the Morse code and did all that stuff. But he said, and then someone asked him the question, okay, why didn't those other guys make it and why did you? He goes, oh, that's simple. He goes, when Christmas came around, the Vietnamese would tell them, hey, you're going to be getting out here and Christmas another month. They'd get all excited. And Christmas came and, oh, it didn't happen. Hey, they tell them Easter's coming. It's going to get you. nope, they didn't get out. Hey, Thanksgiving, you guys are going to be out. So this kept going on and on. And they finally just gave up because they couldn't take it. Why did he survive? Well, he survived because he confronted the brutal facts. He never said, I'm going to get out in Christmas. I'm getting out. He just dealt with it day by day by day. But he had the unwavering belief that he was going to get out. So you need both of those in life, right?
Yep.
You got to confront the brutal facts. You got to tell it like it is. But then at the same time, you got to believe, even though you got a lot of hard things going on, that you can be successful, and that's a lesson that we learned in athletics. That's a lesson that we learn within our families as we go through
Yep.
different turmoils. And, that would be the big thing, I would think.
You get knocked down, you get right back up and go after it.
Yes. Tomorrow's just another day.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you don't move forward, you lost, right? That's it.
right. Yes.
So,
Yep.
Kevin, let me ask you one thing quickly. You've moved around a lot. How was that hard on your family?
Yeah,
Your
you know
kids?
what, Musk? Great question. Yeah, it was hard. So, and I would say I've got 3 kids. My oldest son, Tim, had to change high schools after his sophomore year. We're in Pennsylvania, Saucon Valley. He's got to move to a whole nother state, Detroit, and finish up there. So that was, a challenge. My middle daughter had to do the same thing. And then my younger daughter, well, that was one reason we stayed at the Citadel for 9 years, to kind of keep her in school. But I would say, like, even my middle daughter in this day struggles. And you look back to those times when you just had to keep picking up. And I was so consumed with the job and coaching. And, you're in there at 6 in the morning. You're there till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. Like, that was your life for all those years.
Right.
So there's it sometimes from the outside it looks like, ooh, glamorous is too strong of a word, but it looks like, ooh, but there's a lot that you have to
Sacrifice.
give up. And there's
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
people that have to sacrifice that.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Yep.
family
So
thing, and sacrifice is tough,
yeah, that's
Yep.
exactly
especially on
right.
kids.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you being here. We're actually honored to have you on. I
Yep.
think
Great.
hopefully, as we grow older, we all stay together as we have in the past.
Yes,
It's
for
important.
sure. Really, just look at you guys. I mean, and I look back at you guys, as wrestlers, and Moss playing football as well. And obviously, Phil, I didn't know you, but what you guys accomplished back in high school was really incredible. Like, you were the top of it. Like, in all honesty, I was an average guy that worked really hard. You guys were special, talented in your own sports, which is really, really neat and special. But we got a lot of guys like that in our class. So
And it comes from good coaching.
Absolutely.
yeah, yep,
Good.
And that builds character for life, right?
Right. Yep.
It's just how it is, I
exactly.
watched both my boys go through it in college and in high school, and the demands pay off.
Right.